some music on this. But yeah, best advice for this tower, honestly, is keep your mind in the mouse movement. That's the best thing you can do, because a lot of it is camera control. But yeah, if you need any tips for some jump tech, then you can just copy what I do. Some of it I may explain, but I don't think too much is necessary, because it is roundabout baseline terri, you know, no, baseline kata, roundabout terri throughout the tower. But obviously all the difficulty is in the final floor, which is peak kata, which is why, in my opinion, this is definitely a catastrophic tower. I'm not even just saying that because I failed the final jump. That was just because I hadn't really practiced the tower, because I'm a bit of a donut. But yeah, I failed the final floor way too many times. I think about 4 to 5 times, once being the final jump. So yeah, I'm not too pleased with it. I think it might have even been like nearing 6 fails, actually, come to think of it, which is kind of demotivating, especially because, like, you know, floor 9 is a bit of a difficulty increase as well. But yeah, I think floors 2, 9 are, you know, probably the hardest other than 10. But yeah, not too much complicated, not too many complicated jumps going on here. You just need to focus up, just as the song suggests. But yeah, this jump, this slanted jump from the left side, because there's a bit of a lip that will take away your momentum. That's generally what you want to do. Same with this jump, is a bit slanted, but just jump like literally just straight to the next platform and you'll be completely fine. But yeah, that was where the tower starts to get a little bit more difficult. So, you know, it's just typical that it happens later on in the tower. It's just what happens, you know, it's just how it goes. But, you know, there's no specific techniques that you need to be aware of yet, I don't think. You can ledge grab here, it's completely optional. I personally think it just makes it easier. As for these other jumps, they're a little bit of a break before you get to... Oh yeah, just be careful on this jump. Make sure to just... Yeah. And this jump, you can also ledge grab. It makes it easier, but it's completely optional. You can use W and D. And the same principle applies for this one here. But yeah, I'm just having to talk over the song just because it's a song by Waterflame, so it's copyrighted. You know, I'm not exactly gonna make revenue, understood, but I'd just rather, you know, not. Just good rep. But yeah, now we're approaching last couple easy jumps before the outside. It's very easy, but it's also very easy to mess up. So I do go kind of quick, which probably isn't ideal, but as long as you've got the jumps down and you're comfortable with longer jumps, like, you know, you can see I do like pause between each of them, especially this wrap there. Is definitely a longer one that you should watch out for. Yeah, these jumps, just get them in your muscle memory. Be careful with this flick there, because it can act up a little bit sometimes. As for this, just take your time. One of the harder jumps, but yeah, get that into muscle memory. A little bit easier for now. Just kind of, yeah, this one you can just hold W and D like that, but I don't know, use W and D to jump across. With this one, make sure you're as straight as possible. So I failed this jump last time, so I'm gonna get a more comfortable alignment, and there you go, just like that. This jump, once again, just be careful. This one's not too bad, neither is this, and neither is this, and you should be making your way to what, floor 7? But yeah, just be careful because the roof is hella low, so be careful. these walkarounds are fine. Just make sure you get right close on that one. I don't know if it actually is floor 7. I think so. Let's just hope that. But yeah, this will kick you out sometimes, so make sure you keep holding W and D. These wraps are fine. As you approach this long one here, you just have to be super careful, because it's a long jump really. So yeah, now is the time to go, just slow down a little bit. Use this ledge grab strategy just to align. You don't have to, but I find it's far easier for getting the length. I almost messed it up there actually, but fortunately I didn't. I failed it before by not doing the ledge grab, so I just think it's worth it. These jumps here are fine. You can like high jump here if you as a recovery skip. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend skips ordinarily. But yeah, as you make your way to these jumps, just be a little bit careful. You should get caught if you fail, so don't worry too much. Obviously here, if you fall, you're going a long way down. Yeah, this is a terrible design in the tower. So, yep. And so is this. I did not want to find a strategy for that, so I do apologize for the skipping. But yeah, that jump slower. This jump, the platform appears quicker than it looks. Like it's more a height thing than a distance thing. But yeah, I recommend this in first person, but kind of get it down a little bit. As for this, just map out the jump because it's kind of awkward. And then this flip here is actually super simple, really easy. But yeah, as we're getting closer to floor 8, I believe, just take your time, really take your time. These are like longer floors now, and they're really terrible if you fail them. You know, so I wouldn't recommend failing, obviously, but you know. But yeah, this is 9, floor 9. I just checked to make sure. But yeah, make sure you got these jumps down, like really down. Like you can see even me checking them and still nearly failing. But hopefully you don't fall too far if you fail this. Yeah. Don't have to ledge grab there, but it does make it a hell of a lot easier. Try to stick to the right side of the truss, like where the shadow is, like I do. Like don't go too far over to the left, because I find it's a little more difficult. And obviously just learn how to align it. This is fine, just make sure you're taking your time and you will be completely fine. I think I might fail here actually. But yeah, jump wrap from that side, please. Yeah, that jump's really difficult too, so just make sure you take your time on everything past this point. Because, you know, we're approaching the infamous floor 10, which is by far the hardest floor. So these jumps are very nice, they're a bit of a break. But yeah, make sure that you just like sort of map them out, that you're nice and comfortable with them. It's really not worth failing. You'd rather just fail to the 10 outside, because at least you're failing to something like difficult. But yeah, for this, make sure you're far over to the right and like flicking properly to make sure you land it. Weird jump, don't know how to explain it, just do what I'm doing there. Perfect. I think I failed this, I'm not sure. Yeah. Make sure you take your time on every one of these jumps. Use W and D for this one. Sort of follow it round, gives you the best alignment for that. Just make sure you pay close attention to where your arms are going. But yeah, just take your time with them. Make sure you got floor 10 all in one run multiple times in practice. I actually didn't practice this final floor at all, because yeah, I probably should have. That was definitely something I regret. But yeah, just take your time with these final jumps. These ones aren't too difficult, but definitely still failable, definitely worth taking into consideration. Okay, so for this, it's just long jumps. For this, I actually failed this jump literally like 30 minutes before, so that's why I was so careful. Yeah, like I say, these ones aren't too bad, but just don't let your guard down. Like, make sure that you're fully focused on all of them. And yeah, low-key, just lock in. But yeah, this jump here, I actually guessed this lineup. I didn't practice this jump, but I'd failed it like twice before, so I was feeling a bit dodgy about it after that slide. That's why I flicked. It works. It does actually work. I've tested it since uploading this video. That's a good strategy. But yeah, here just be careful. Use W and D to sort of get around the one stud nice and easy. That's a long jump, and this is an easy jump. It gets a little bit easier for the time being, which is very nice. But yeah, here, just face here and just tap D very, very slightly until you climb the platform. And just be super careful this whole time. Take it very slowly because it's not worth failing. You're very nearly at the inside now. There's like one hard jump. For this, just kind of position yourself enough at the edge. Go as far right on this as possible. So basically like that, and you should be fine. It's not too big of a jump. Okay, this one is the difficult one. Go like slightly across, but not enough to get kicked off, and just follow it around. Also use W and D. I fail a lot here, so I don't. It's gonna be editing hell, but yeah. No specific strats yet, except do these jumps basically as I do. But yeah, these jumps can get quite painful, quite repetitive. Now just follow these rounds. Try not to fail them. It's netted, so it doesn't really matter, but try not to just take too much time on it because it might demotivate you. But yeah, nice freebies for the final bit, and then a flip, and then nice and easy from this bit. But yeah, just keep motivation and don't imagine a jump that's not there. The reason the time went up so much is because, not because I have a skill issue, but it's because I went to eat. So I just got back, and that's why I'm failing a little bit. Got a little bit of a skill issue. But yeah, my guy says he'll be mad if I fall. I hope he isn't, but yeah. These final jumps are very nice. Don't worry. Before you get to 10C. Now this is the worst of them all. This silly little bit there tends to be like the worst part of it. But it's very the jumps preceding it get very consistent, so you won't really have to worry about it too much. But yeah, you just pass it once, and then just make sure to be super careful because you don't want to fail like the last couple parts. Like, it's not worth it. So yeah, that's why I take it a little bit slower, just because I'd rather not waste so much time on loop failing. But yeah, just familiarize yourself with these jumps. You don't need to be super good. It's just good going into them a little bit prepared, which I didn't really, to be honest. You know, in other runs, this took me fair a little bit. Okay, so now it's like the final bit. Basically, you got one more net in the final stretch, but you want to calculate all these jumps, like just familiarize yourself with them as you go through. It's really not worth failing. Even if you got it committed to muscle memory, like just make sure, because I have actually failed this section before. I actually failed this jump, which is why I just spend ages looking at it. I nearly choke it again. But yeah, you can see my guy spectating and support. This jump I very nearly failed one time, so I'm just making sure that, you know, it is one time for the one time, not gonna be a repeating occurrence. But yeah, and then here was my first floor 10 fail, was this jump here, which is why I make a big effort to align properly with the 7x1. And yeah, another net, so I'm just gonna skip forward. So for that, you can just flick off to get a loose distance from the truss and just keep walking. That tends to work. But yeah, I just take it a little bit slower this time just to make sure that I get the jumps down, because I was loop failing for like 4 minutes or something. I was getting kind of frustrated and I didn't want to, because, you know, the final part, I've already failed it once. But yeah, just make sure you're comfortable with this. to not get demotivated, because you know you want to have the best chances. And that is the final jump of the net. This jump is nice and easy, but yeah, take a minute to read that if you want to. My mic here, so final stretch. There you go. Just take it slow and focus on your mouse and your movement. That's all you gotta do. Oh my god! Land on this platform sideways, by the way, because you can actually go through the back if you do it wrong. But yeah, make sure you got this jump mapped out. I do that to gain a little bit of distance. Oh my god, I nearly failed. That was one of the harder jumps of the final stretch for me. It's not too difficult, but just make sure you got it down, because that would have been completely tragic. Tower of True skill jump. But yeah, just keep checking all of them. My mindset for this was to treat every jump like it's the final one, like to get myself in the headspace of I'm really not gonna fail it for any reason, you know. But yeah, we're getting hella far now. Final jump again, boys. Oh my god. Yeah! Yes, let's fucking go! Yeah, pрошел! I did it! Yes, man! Shout out to the 2 people who witnessed it. I'm finally 1 fail on the final jump before that, man. Like and sub, bro, please.